The Porziuncola Nuova is an exact scale replica of the revered little chapel in Assisi, Italy, where St. Francis found his faith, heard his Lord, established his order, and insisted on dying when his time came. This is the story of how such a unique piece of religious history came to be located 800 years and 6,000 miles away in San Francisco, California. The story begins, appropriately, with a vision of rebuilding a church.
This was the first church in the town that became San Francisco. So in that sense, we thought of making a shrine of St. Francis. Our patron is St. Francis after all, and not to reopen it as another parish church, but as a shrine church that could be of benefit for pilgrims.
In 1998, St. Francis of Assisi Church in North Beach became the national shrine of St. Francis. But 7 years later, the Franciscan order decided to reassign the friars who ran it.
In 2005, we were really worried when the friars were leaving the National Shrine of St. Francis. I went to Archbishop Leveda, who is now Cardinal Leveda, and I literally sat with him for 4 hours, and I plotted out, we'll build Francesco's Porziuncola in the little gymnasium. Then we'll do the upper church, like the upper Basilica in Assisi, and then we'll do a university of political thought based on Franciscan principles in the rectory. And then number 4, we'll have a piazza. Cardinal Leveda got all excited about it. I mean, he said, you know, I'm gonna let you do this.
The key to the whole project was to build a replica of the chapel which would form the centerpiece and draw visitors from all over the world. Angela first visited Porziuncola when she was just 15 years old. Years later, when she got the idea to build a replica, there was a problem. No one was allowed to take pictures in the Porziuncola, and she didn't know any of the friars in Assisi who might help her get permission. But that didn't stop her.
The builders came with me to Italy. We divided ourselves up by 2, and we went into the Porziuncola and measured it with dental floss. We got on our hands and knees as though we were saying the rosary and measured the Porziuncola foot by foot. And then we'd go out, and Dave Murphy's son, Gavin, was sitting there with a big artist pad, and he had it all drawn out, and he was putting the measurements. He'd measure the dental floss and put the measurements on the drawing immediately because we couldn't mark the dental floss.
Word of what was going on in the chapel soon got back to the head of the friars, Frate Massimo Rescilian, and Angela got a phone call to come explain herself.
He said to me, "Come ti permetti? Who gave you permission? How dare you measure our Porziuncola?" And I just looked at him and did. And I think he saw my love of St. Francis and Jesus. He saw it, and he says to me, you know, during the earthquake, we had 3 rocks fall off the eastern elevation, and we believe these rocks were used by St. Francis himself in the rebuilding, and we would like to give you one for the cornerstone of our new little sister in America. I'm like having a heart attack inside. I am so excited, I can't stand it. You know, I've been visiting this little place my whole life, and all of a sudden, I'm rebuilding the only replica ever allowed in 800 years. I mean, it was mind-boggling. And on top of it, we're gonna have the highest Franciscan relic, Francesco's rock. Every single symbol throughout this experience has been one of, this is going to happen.